Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Autoway podcast. My name is Daniel Lugo. I'm your host, and today I have your pleasure of having Jason Dietrich. And today, I hope I said it right. But today is going to be a great episode that I think we're going to learn a lot from. So take out your notebooks, like I say in all my podcasts, because in single one of the episodes, my goal is for you to learn something from each individual guest. I think there's someone out there that's going to listen to your voice. Jason is going to identify with it. So, Jason, can you please introduce yourself to the audience?
Absolutely, Daniel. Well, first of all, you did say my last name correctly, Dietrich. So I just wanted to say that. But just to introduce myself to your audience very quickly, it's great to be here. My name is Jason Dietrich. I have lots of experience in STEM. So I'm not only a STEM educator and also have experience with NASA and NASA affiliated STEM curriculum design and also podcasting, but I am also an autism advocate as well. So I am someone who has a form of autism called hyperlexia, which I will definitely dive deeper into this conversation as well. But one of the big things that I primarily do now is I'm a communication specialist with STEM. So I am responsible for taking all of the complex, projects that, my company works on. I'm not an official speaker representative for my company. I'm just representing myself. But what I do is I come up with engaging STEM content, whether it's social media posts, podcasting as well, just to showcase our subject matter expertise. And that has proven to be very, very effective, and especially based on my teaching experiences where I started about 5 or 6 years ago teaching middle school science and mathematics. Definitely when I moved on into the aerospace industry, it definitely served me very well.
No, that's incredible. Being able to work at NASA, I think that's a that's something that not everybody can say so that they can accomplish. So that I think that's good for you. Being a teacher. My mom has been a teacher for 30 years. Thank you for your service in that department. I know it takes a lot of work. My mom definitely is all over the clock with being at school and everything, and she teaches math. So I know that STEM part. I like math in that sense. So probably not as good as you, but I like math.
Well, I was going to say math, it's very cool, with numbers and everything. So as long as you understand, the purpose behind the subject matter, that's what's important. And I salute your mom. I appreciate her hard work and dedication in the teaching industry.
Thank you. I will say here that. So, Jason, let me hit you up with the first question of the podcast. Was there a moment when you didn't see the light of day, when you felt you were at rock bottom?
Yes, that's a great question, Daniel. Well, it all goes back to when I was 5 years old, which seemed like ages ago. So I turned 30 years old about a week ago or so. So,
Happy
um,
birthday.
but thank you, appreciate it. But what happened was when I was 5 years old, my parents noticed that I was able to read words at such a high level. I was reading Daniel at the time in kindergarten, equivalent to a fifth grader. And my parents were just in an absolute state of shock. They were like, wow, our child can read words at such a high level. And then they thought, well, if he can read words at such a high level, well, maybe he'll be able to comprehend what he was reading. So then they started, asking me these questions. Hey, Jason, what does this particular word or phrase mean? And very often I would say, uh, I don't know. I don't know. So hyperlexia, for those of your audience and viewers who don't know, it's a form of autism, and autism has many different branches. There's Asperger's and then hyperlexia and many other branches. But hyperlexia is a form of autism that is characterized by someone's ability to read words at such a high level. But yet struggles with reading comprehension. And I have to tell you, Daniel, where I hit rock bottom was in elementary school. I unfortunately had teachers, including administrators, who are not very supportive of my skill sets or my abilities. They never really showed me the time or the enthusiasm. So I struggled a lot, both mentally, physically, and emotionally. I even, Daniel, had one teacher in elementary school write a completely wrong evaluation about my skill set levels and my abilities. That when I transitioned on to middle school, my middle school teachers took a look at the evaluation and they said, "Who is this kid? This isn't Jason at all. This is a totally different kid that they just wrote about." So, in terms of rock bottom, it was, in elementary school. I transitioned, to a different elementary school. After I was at one for kindergarten and first grade, I went to another one, and my parents and I thought it was going to be better. Unfortunately, no, it wasn't. Now, I had two good teachers. I do have to give a shout out to them who at least tried, and they were very helpful. The problem was it was just two very toxic environments. But it wasn't until, middle school, Daniel, where my middle school teachers saw that I struggled. They sat me down and then they introduced me to STEM. And I remember getting introduced to astronomy, physics, and a little bit of chemistry as well. And I enjoy the hands on learning with STEM and the visual aspect. That's primarily how I learn best. And they helped me to see that hyperlexia is not a disability, but it is, in fact, a superpower. And that's when I realized that, STEM provides many different highways of opportunity. But in addition to that, it really helped me to understand what my purpose was in life. And I was very, very grateful to have teachers in middle school, help to see the gifts that I had that I never even knew I possessed. So instead of being in rock bottom like I was in elementary school, once I got to middle school, that's when my life started to change, thankfully.
No, no, wow, because in that story, what I comprehend is that in life there will be people that will throw you down, that will limit your abilities, right? You might have something that is more valuable than you think, but the people that are surrounding you are limiting that belief and that step forward. You have to believe in what you're about to do. If you don't believe it, you're not going to accomplish anything. Or if you do, it's not going to last long, right? So you have to believe it. Believe it till you like make it, and then keep believing. Because if they keep you down, it's for a reason, right? That elementary school, you had two elementary schools that you have to get out of from, right? Because of the toxic environment. And we will have those people in life, whether it's kindergarten, elementary, high school, our careers, college, anything. And personally, I'm in college right now, and there will be people that will throw you down. But it's for us to stand up, and I'm glad that STEM was for you, that drove you into that next phase of your life. So if you can please speak more about like how exactly did STEM motivate you into, okay, because I heard that it push you to know that you have a higher purpose in life. But can you please speak to us more about it?
Sure, absolutely. So, in terms of, STEM, where I started to again, see the ample opportunities that came with that. One of the big things when I first got introduced to STEM, like I said in middle school, when I was introduced to astronomy, chemistry, and, many different earth science topics as well. I remember, I think specifically in astronomy, when I was in seventh grade, we had to do an astronomy project where what we did was we had to go outside, and it was in the springtime, and we had to take a look up at the night sky and look at the stars and also observe some constellations as well. And what we had to do was we had to write in a journal in terms of what we saw. We also had to draw out, the stars and the constellations that we saw. And I have to tell you, Daniel, it was very, very cool to be able to do something like that. And one of the things that I saw with STEM that I found to be very beneficial is it gets you curious. because, definitely as someone, who looks up at the night sky, you wonder, like, wow, like, how did these stars get there? How do the constellations get their name? And how big is the sky? And how big is space? I can tell you for sure space is very, very, very big. so, um, and based on that, after taking a look, up at the night sky, my mom and I, we had a fantastic time doing that. But I really started to wonder about, the big questions. What is it that we don't yet know about space? And, what are some things that are yet to be discovered? And what I primarily liked about STEM and what I still do like about STEM is with STEM, it's very hands on. I learn best through visual aids, and I like doing science labs. And honestly, the traditional method of, just learning through a textbook and doing rote memorization, that doesn't work anymore. Because society's problems have gotten very, very complex now because of all the advances that we have in technology. And it's important that we develop critical and analytical thinking skills in order to solve some of these complex challenges. And that's definitely something that I enjoyed, with STEM. And, believe it or not, with STEM as well, I liked the fact that you could learn so much more, if you get something wrong compared to if you get it right the first time. And that's definitely a message that, I wanted to share, with your audience. So if you get it right the first time, that's fantastic. But, you actually learn more if you get it wrong compared to if you get it right the first time. So that's definitely something that I enjoyed. And, based on my current role, since I do, podcasting and also STEM social media posts, what I very much enjoy, especially with podcasting and video editing, is there's a lot of STEM that goes with it. And it limits any, uncomfortability that I might have, especially with, podcasting, with being in, large groups or social situations. That is definitely something that I like with podcasting, where you can definitely edit. You can definitely plan. You can do do-overs if you mess up as well. So that is definitely something that I have, very much enjoyed, and it has allowed me to communicate my story even more. And as I'm continuing the video editing processes, I'm learning new cool tips and tricks and strategies in order to further enhance the videos that I currently do for my organization I work for. I think currently we have, I think it's like 91 videos or something like that. And I've been doing this for a little more than 2 years or so. And I've very much enjoyed not only hearing the engaging stories, but on top of that, being able to edit and use my hands and, use the laptop and being able to focus, that definitely, really helps me, and it helps to engage in, out of the box thinking, which is what I have. So, to answer your question there, that is definitely where I have seen STEM take me. And I actually, as a side note, Daniel, want to be an astronaut one day. So, what I want to do is take my video editing expertise and my experience up to the moon, to the Mars, and back. And it's going to help inspire many different generations that, hey, just because you might be neurodiverse like myself, that doesn't mean that you can't dream big. I mean, who would have thought that I'd be working at an organization that supports contractors like NASA, NOAA, and many other global entities? If I can definitely dream it, you all can as well.
No, that's a great message. And I would like to hit something that you said earlier that, you know, in order we learn better when we fail than when we win first. And that is something that for me, that is something that I learned as well in my surgeries that I went through. I went through something called Crohn's disease. I went through 8 surgeries. So each single one, I got better and better and better. And when I failed, I learned. Because you learn more when in your failures than in your wins. You also need to learn on your wins. It's not something that you only learn in your failures. You have to learn in both, but you learn more. in failures. And I heard something today that you have to dream big. Dream big enough that if in your brain is still small, or when you say it to people, it does not seem that big, go ahead and dream again. You have to dream big, and if you fail, get back up and try again. And try again. It's gonna take a couple of times, but if you put your mind to it and if you see it, you're gonna accomplish it. So I think once you said you wanna be an astronaut, you have to imagine it. You wanna take STEMs to a new level. That's great. We need a lot of STEM people here. My mom is a math teacher. You are teaching STEM, both science and math. So we need a lot of people to inspire the next generation. For me, I'm looking to inspire those to dream, right? To see that the storm is near its end, that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. For you, you're trying to grab people attention and say to them, hey, even though you're going through this can help you going through your life into a better pathway. So you have to fail. We're gonna fail. It's a guarantee. We're gonna fail. But it's how you react to failures that is gonna determine who you are gonna be. I don't know if you agree with that.
Oh, absolutely, 100%, Daniel. I was going to say, just to add on, nobody's perfect. Because again, if you were perfect, then, that pretty much implies that you know everything. And why would you then be walking on the path that you are if you were perfect? So that's, one of the great things about life is sometimes you're able to predict some things that occur, other times you aren't. And, sometimes life throws curveballs at you. And, like you mentioned, you definitely will get knocked down. You will, cry from time to time. I know, especially since I have, like I said, hyperlexia, sometimes I've had experiences where I've had like mental breakdowns where I've just cried because I was, so stressed and anxious. But that's not a bad thing. It's just, a coping mechanism to help me at least to, settle down. So, but again, based on, dreaming big, you definitely will get there. But like you said, Daniel, it takes some time. And, life is not one straight path either. It's many different zigzags. So, um, but you just have to enjoy the journey. You have to trust the process. And I definitely believe in God who helped me to get to where I am today. I am so, so grateful for him in terms of guiding me to where I am. And, I know that this year is going to be spectacular and in the future as well. So don't ever be afraid, too, if ever you're stressed out or if you're crying or something like that, please pray, to God. He always listens to you. He's never too busy for you. And you can't do it without him.
Great message for me as well. For me, my surgeries, if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be here talking to you. He makes everything possible. If you think it's impossible, just just know that he's with you, and because he's with you, it is possible. And correct me
Exactly.
if I'm wrong, but a rocket launched by NASA or SpaceX, Blue Origin, whoever launches it, does not go straight upwards. It goes in like a kind of exponential, and then it hits the atmosphere, and then it goes to space. Right? It's not a straight upward motion.
No, I was going to say you're right. I mean, it definitely goes up. You're right. But yes, it does go on a little bit of an angle in terms of going up into the atmosphere. And then eventually, what it does is as soon as the capsule pretty much splits off from the rocket, then, it pretty much travels, in an ellipse, around planet Earth. And, the capsule or the ship has to travel at, I believe, 17,500 miles per hour or something like that just to maintain its orbit. So it can't be slower than that, and it also can't be too fast. It has to be exactly that. So it's definitely very cool in terms of, what goes into it. But you're right, it goes up, yes, but there is a little bit of an incline in order to, match the speed and the wind variation. So it just all depends on what the rocket is, what the mission is, and when they're launching, because the weather can definitely have an impact as well.
Yes, for sure. And realizing here is that the rocket, if I'm not wrong, burns most of the fuel at the beginning. That's when it burns most of the fuel. So it's gonna be the same for you. At first, it's gonna take most of your energy out to get to where you wanna be. But the closer you're getting there, the less it's gonna be. So you can take your life as a rocket. It's gonna start
Yes.
strong, really strong. It's gonna take some power to get through it, but you're gonna get through and you're gonna get to the atmosphere where you wanna be.
Yeah. I love that analogy. I think that was, very well said. So, and I definitely am already thinking that, my life is like a rocket ship, and sometimes I've crashed, not going to lie, because again, life throws curveballs. And sometimes we've had, instances where, rockets have, blown up, whether it's a test or, unfortunately, we've had missions where some men and women for our astronauts have died. So, and we definitely salute those men and women for going up into space or coming back, because it takes a lot of guts to be an astronaut. It takes a lot of training. It takes a lot of mental strength and acuity. So, but yeah, like we said, life definitely is, a rocket ship. It can go, slower at times. Sometimes it might not blast off at all. So that's a whole part of, the journey, but that's why you have to refine it and you just have to keep going.
That's right. And Jason, why do you think you went through, hyperlexia and everything? Why do you think what's the reason?
Uh, I think the big reason why I went through hyperlexia to begin with was because I was put on this earth, for a unique purpose and a unique reason. So God has plans for everybody. So it doesn't matter, what generation, it doesn't matter what gender it is, but He has plans for you. Now, whether you trust Him in his guidance or not, for those that don't, I would, definitely encourage you to lean on to him. You're not going to be successful without him, in my honest opinion. But in terms of, my struggles with hyperlexia, I think based on my life's experiences, it has, helped to shape me in terms of the person that he sees for me, what kind of, motivation I can do as a result of advocating for those who are neurodiverse. Now, even though, like I said, in elementary school when I was little, I didn't understand my struggles at all. I was thinking, why am I going through this? I was crying quite frequently. I often spent time alone by myself, which actually that turned out to be a positive, not a negative, because that really helped me to, really define my skill sets and really get to know me, Jason. So, but it's based off of God's plan, and sometimes like you said, you're going to run into people who are nasty, who are arrogant, but it's all, a part of the journey. He knows exactly what's going to happen specifically in the future, and, also any moves that you make. He even knows when you're going to make a mistake. So, and that's how it is for everybody. So now, have I made mistakes? Absolutely, over the course of my journey. Sometimes I didn't handle myself well when something when life threw a curveball, let's say. When I was little, Daniel, I would get so stressed and so worked up, especially if things didn't go my way, because I wasn't very flexible. But I had to be taught, sometimes these things happen, and I was able to implement some strategies that can help me cope with that, and I'm definitely better at it now. Am I perfect? No. Sometimes I still, get very stressed out from time to time. But again, this is all a part of, God's plan, his vision, his purpose. And, the fact that, like I said, that I'm still here, I'm still, waking up every day. I'm very, very grateful for that because, I know that I'm not finished yet. He still has something amazing to come. So this is why, I'm doing this. This is why I'm advocating for this. It's just a way to make my mark on planet Earth. So I'm very, very honored to be doing so in God's word.
God willing, you will. And we are not perfect. We are gonna fail. Jesus was the only one perfect in human form. And if he suffered, why wouldn't we? Why we wouldn't? It's like, why not? If he suffered, why wouldn't we? And it's something that people don't think enough. He suffered, even though he didn't have to. He suffered for you so that you can live with God. And God, even though you're going to go through struggles, he's there by your side. And he puts you there so that you learn something from it and you become a brand new person. And he's going to be there in the ups, in the downs. He has brought people from all the way down in the lowly life to bring them up into, with the person that they are today. I was put down, even though I was Catholic. I was put down. I was broken. I couldn't recognize myself in the mirror after my first surgery. So it's something that
Wow.
God does wonders if you let him. If you let him to your heart, he's gonna do wonders for you because he's always gonna be there for you. He, like you said, he's not busy. He's gonna be there for you, but you have to realize that you have to give your heart up to him. To be a functional relationship, both have to be willing parties. He's willing to be by your side, but you have to be willing to let him in there. And it's not you that is doing all the work. It's God doing all the work. And you just gonna be there. God, do what is your will, not mine.
Mhm.
Right? That's what we have to do. And if we let ourselves in that way and we teach ourselves to believe that what that is happening is God's plan, everything is gonna be fine. If you miss a bus, if you miss something by 2 minutes, you're gonna be late for 2 minutes. You're meant because something might happen in those 2 minutes. You might get in a car crash or anything might
Right.
happen in those 2 minutes. So be glad that you can wake up another time. If
Mhm.
I'm gonna ask you this question. If I gave you $1 billion, but you couldn't wake up tomorrow, will you take it?
If I got $1 billion and if I didn't wake up, would I take it? Um, I would probably say, if I were to answer that question, no, I would not take that, and I'll tell you why. Because number one, I'm a young guy. I'm only 30 years old, like I mentioned, so I definitely want to be on this planet for as long as I possibly can, health wise, at least. But number two, in terms of the money, it is definitely nice, and I'm definitely working in terms of making a difference to become perhaps a millionaire, if not a billionaire, as well. But I definitely know I want to do it on my own terms, and it's not a life or death sentence. So if I were to be given, $1 billion, and if I didn't, wake up the next day, that'd be very, very hard. Unless I knew that my last day on planet Earth was going to be, let's say tomorrow. Hopefully, that's not going to be the case. But let's say if I knew that it was, and if God told me that you need to accept this $1 billion, then I would definitely take it. But even then, I don't think that, God would want to, do something like that. He rewards you for your hard work. And he tests you too to see, how
Loyalty.
manipulative. Exactly. He tests to see, how loyal you are to him. He puts you into challenging or stressful situations because he's training you. I mean, whatever big dreams that you've asked of him, he puts you in those situations to challenge you. And I've been challenged, many times, and I will continue to be challenged. Absolutely, it's all a part of being comfortable in the uncomfortable, as I like to say. You definitely want to take on some new opportunities, but in terms of that, I would have to respectfully pass on that, and I would definitely earn that money in some other form or fashion.
It is easy to have faith when they are easy times than when there are hard times. That's why God puts you there as loyalty. The same happened to Job in the Hob, sorry, in the Bible. The same thing. He was there. He went through it all, but in the end, he was loyal to God, and God rewarded him for it. So we have to be loyal to Him, even though we are struggling. We must know that there is a path forward, and the path forward is with Him. So, Jason, the next question is, what would you like your legacy to be?
Wonderful question. Um, I would definitely say, in terms of my legacy, what I would like to have is, I want people to remember me as someone who wasn't afraid to think outside the box. Also, not be afraid to step outside my comfort zone as well, but to also be an effective STEM advocate, especially for neurodiverse learners, and pretty much all learners in general as well. That, again, is one of the main reasons why I am shooting to become an astronaut. And then, continuing on from there. Once I, be an astronaut, Daniel, I'm not going to be done. There's still going to be, other big things that I would like to do as well. In the meantime, I'm working on some of those things right now as well. But in terms of that, what I definitely, want to, have people see is that, hyperlexia is not a disability. Same thing with any form of autism, dyslexia, anything like that. Everybody has a superpower. And everybody has a unique gift. Everybody has a unique purpose. And I definitely want people to, recognize me as someone who helped them to find and identify their own superpowers and their own special gifts. If I definitely, do that, and I definitely intend to with all my heart, then I think that is definitely a life very well lived, and that's going to be very, very enjoyable to see.
As long as you're happy with what you're doing, keep pushing forward. And the same thing for all of you. If you are happy doing what you're doing, keep it, keep pushing. Don't stop. It's gonna get hard sometimes, but you have to keep pushing. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So that will happen. So keep pushing forward, keep pursuing that dream. You can do it. God is by your side. God is by my side. And God willing, we're able to push through, and we're able to make a lot of impact with people. And Jason, where can people find you?
Yeah, great question. So, Daniel, I'm more than happy to provide my personal email to your audience and viewers. I'll make sure to share that with you in case if anybody has any questions and wants to learn more specifically about my story, or about, hyperlexia, how I got involved in STEM. I will certainly provide my personal email. In addition to that, what I would encourage your audience to do is on YouTube. My company slash organization has a YouTube channel. It's Science Systems and Applications Incorporated. So what you can do is you can search for that, and I'll provide a link for you and your audience to check us out in the meantime. I would encourage your audience and viewers to check out our YouTube channel. Take a look at not only the great subject matter expertise that we have, but take a look at the work that I'm doing, in terms of, podcasting, in terms of video editing, in terms of, STEM, work. So being a communication specialist, I never once thought that I was going to be in that role. If you would have asked me that 5 or 6 years ago, I'm not sure what I would have said, but I would have been like, oh, I don't think so. But turns out it's one of the best jobs I've ever had. So it's really serving me well in terms of my purpose. So I would definitely encourage your audience to check out our YouTube channel. And then two other things, you can also check out our LinkedIn as well. You can follow us. Again, we're Science Systems and Applications Incorporated on LinkedIn. I'll provide another link for you to provide your audience, Daniel, as well. And then in addition to that, if anybody has any partnership inquiries or you would like to be connected with a speaker representative, because again, I'm not an official speaker representative for my company. I'm speaking on behalf of myself. But if you want to be connected to a speaker representative at my company to learn more about what we do, please send, all inquiries to connect at SSAIHQ.com. Again, that's connect at SSAIHQ.com. And I will make sure to send that as well. So those are just some cool ways and opportunities that you can connect with me. And, also as a side note, with my organization as well.
Well, thank you, Jason, for being here. And before we go, what would you like to leave for the audience?
What I would like to that's another great question as well. What I would like to leave for the audience is always make sure that you find an opportunity to smile throughout every single day. I know that sometimes life is challenging. There's a lot of curveballs that might be thrown at you, like Daniel, you and I mentioned. But again, don't ever, sacrifice, just smiling. And it can definitely really make a difference, whether it's on your family, your friends, your coworkers, etc. But always, look for the positive. And even though you might not be able to see, why something might have happened the way that it did, you just have to trust the process. And eventually you will find out, why the situation happened the way that it did. And then that'll give you an even better smile as well. So, you're going to be walking in the unknown without a question. But as long as you trust the process, as long as you believe, that's where that smile comes from. And, as long as you say to God, we got this, I usually put my fist up in the air just to, do a little fist bump, if you will. I would definitely encourage your audience and viewers to do that as well. So that is definitely something I would leave for your audience.
Perfect message. It couldn't be said better. You never know the power of a smile. It can bring a lot of positive things to your life if you just smile. So, thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Jason, for being here, for giving your message to my audience. I'm going to leave all your links down in the description so that people can find you, text you, and look up for your company. Thank you so much again for being here. For everyone, thank you for listening in. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share with those that you love. Again, thank you so much. God bless you all and take care. Bye bye.